Have you ever walked out of an interview feeling like you didn't quite show your best self? Or maybe even wondering if you missed hidden opportunities before you even got to the interview stage? Simply because, well, you weren't looking in the right places.
Yeah, it's a completely normal feeling, happens to a lot of people, but it absolutely doesn't have to define your job search,
Yeah.
especially if you're eyeing a tech career in MIS, CIS, or IT. I mean, the modern market demands a strategic approach. It goes way beyond just submitting applications online.
Right. And that's precisely what we're diving into today. Our mission here in this deep dive is to equip you, our listener, especially those of you maybe in courses like BCIS 4385, professional development with truly actionable, practical strategies. We want to help you conquer the modern job market, ace your interviews, and really turn any anxiety into, well, genuine confidence.
And our core insights for this deep dive, they're pulled directly from Dr. Joseph H.Schuessler's Essential Guide, Launching Your Tech Career, a professional development guide for MIS, CIS, and IT graduates. We're specifically focusing on Chapter 4. It's called Mastering the Job Interview Strategies for Success. It's just a fantastic resource for anyone building a career in tech.
Absolutely. And if these insights resonate with you, if you're looking to truly own your career path, maybe consider giving us a follow or share this deep dive with someone else who might find it valuable. Your engagement, it genuinely helps us bring more tailored, impactful content like this to light. Okay, so let's unpack this. It often feels like just hitting apply online is the main thing. But our sources suggest a very different reality, don't they?
Yeah, they absolutely do. The first crucial strategy for mastering your tech interview journey is understanding that a huge majority of jobs are not found through those public postings. We're talking about the hidden job market. Richard N. Bowles, from his classic, What Color is Your Parachute? Really hammers this home. Think about why that number is so high, maybe 85%. Companies often save a ton on recruitment fees, right? And they get more trusted candidates through referrals. It's not just who you know. It's how you position yourself to be the easiest, most valuable referral for someone in your network. Studies show up to 85% of jobs get filled through networking, not traditional applications.
85%. Wow. That's a truly eye-opening statistic. So it really emphasizes that your network isn't just like a list of names. It's actually your primary job search tool. It's about actively using those connections.
Exactly. Bowles emphasizes asking for job leads from all of your contacts as a top method. This isn't passive. It's about actively reaching out, engaging, and being open to what career experts call planned happenstance. It's the idea that by exploring and networking, you significantly increase the chance of stumbling onto unexpected career opportunities. For example, maybe you reach out to someone on LinkedIn just for an informational interview, just to learn about their role, right? And that conversation sparks an idea for them, leads to a referral for a job that wasn't even advertised. That's serendipity, planned happenstance in action.
I really like that concept, planned happenstance. It sort of reframes the job search, makes it feel more like an active exploration, not just checking boxes. So practically speaking, how does someone proactively network in the tech space? What does that look like?
Well, it involves several key things. Bowles suggests attending industry-specific job clubs, maybe virtual meetups nowadays, identifying companies you're genuinely interested in and contacting them directly, even if there aren't postings, and definitely conducting informational interviews. Those conversations where you're just learning, not explicitly asking for a job, invaluable. Think about meeting someone at a virtual career fair or getting active in a relevant LinkedIn group. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics even sees job fairs as like mini interviews because a brief positive chat can make a recruiter give your resume a much closer look later. It's about planting those seeds.
So what does this all mean for you as an aspiring tech professional? It means your network isn't just a list. It's truly your primary, most powerful job search tool. You got to cultivate it.
Yeah, and building on that network aspect, one of the most fascinating shifts is how much of your first impression happens before you even speak to anyone. Your digital footprint. It's basically become your first interview, whether you realize it or not. Employers are absolutely doing their homework online. Over 70% research candidates on social media during hiring. And get this. Over 90% of recruiters chat LinkedIn profiles to vet applicants. So your online presence isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's foundational, a core part of your professional brand.
That's a huge evolution, isn't it? Just from a few years ago, it's not only about the resume now, it's the whole online persona. So what are the absolute must-haves, the key elements to nail on platforms like LinkedIn to make that strong first impression?
Okay, for LinkedIn, number one, a professional headshot, non-negotiable. Then your headline, it needs to be compelling. More than just student at XYZ University, right? Think aspiring data analyst or cybersecurity enthusiast, something that signals your direction. And then your about summary. This is critical. It's your chance to show some personality, your passion for the field, and maybe subtly align yourself with the kind of company culture you're targeting. Like an aspiring data analyst could write about their love for turning raw data into insights, mentioning a project with, an enthusiastic but professional tone.
Makes sense. And beyond LinkedIn, especially for tech roles, what other digital spaces should students and early career folks be thinking about?
All right, for CIS or software students, a GitHub profile is incredibly valuable, showcasing sample projects, contributions. Employers hiring developers will often look there to see your actual coding style, how you solve problems. Similarly, if you're into web dev, graphic design, data science, a personal portfolio, or website, it demonstrates your skills concretely, shows, doesn't just tell. And then there's, well, your other social media. It's crucial to make sure everything public looks professional. A Career Builder survey found that a staggering 73% of hiring managers rejected candidates because of negative social media content. So use those privacy settings wisely. Curate your public content to reflect your industry interest, maybe share relevant tech articles, things like that.
And what's really powerful here, I think, is how this digital presence can also help you prepare for the actual interview itself. It's not just for getting found.
Precisely. By thoughtfully curating your profiles, you're essentially reviewing your own experiences, your strengths. That's fantastic practice for those tricky interview questions. Recruiters will often ask about something they saw, like, hey, I noticed on LinkedIn you led a project implementing a new CRM system. Can you tell me more about that? If you've already articulated it well online, you've basically pre-outlined your talking points. But a crucial warning here, honesty is paramount. Inconsistencies between your profile and your interview answers. Major red flags. Tech recruiters are really sharp. They spot that stuff. Use your online engagement, like being active in LinkedIn groups, to gain insights too. You can even find conversation material for interviews. Like recently I was discussing agile project management in a LinkedIn group and it sparked an idea about.
Okay, so your network is active, your digital presence is polished. What's the next critical step to really shine when that interview opportunity actually lands?
That next step, the absolute bedrock of interview success, is preparation. And it really starts with your mindset. Interviewing can be nerve-wracking, no doubt, but your attitude truly impacts performance. Did you know over 51% of hiring managers say they know within the first 5 minutes if a candidate is a good fit? Bowles suggests recalling past successes to boost confidence. Remind yourself of what you've achieved. And remember, it's a two-way street. You're evaluating them too, right? Seeing if this role, this company, fits your goals.
That's a great way to reframe it. Not just being judged, but a mutual discovery. What about resilience, though? It's a tough market out there sometimes.
Oh, resilience is absolutely key. Rejections are just a normal part of the process. A typical job seeker might send out, 14 applications for maybe 2 interviews. That's kind of average. Don't let those setbacks shake your confidence. The good news, 80% of tech workers have a positive outlook on the industry's future. So try to maintain that optimism. Beyond mindset, thorough research is vital. Employers consistently value candidates who actually know the company. Research their products, services, recent news, their culture, their values, and most importantly, deeply understand that job description. Figure out how your unique skills and experiences fit perfectly.
And then tailoring your responses based on all that research is crucial, isn't it? You can't just give generic answers.
Absolutely. Richard Bullis famously boiled it down. Hiring managers really care about 5 essential questions. Why are you here? What can you do for us? What kind of person are you? What distinguishes you from the others? And can we afford you? You need to be ready to articulate your genuine interest in that specific company and that specific role, not just any job. Show how your skills, technical skills, sure, but also soft skills like communication, problem solving, directly align with what they need. Remember, over half of employers say personality is a top hiring factor, so showing you fit the team culture. Crucial. Think about your unique selling points. What makes you stand out? For entry-level roles, the can we afford you question usually comes later, but always focus on conveying your value. A practical tip. Before any interview, jot down the top 3 to 5 job requirements and map exactly how you meet them. And definitely prepare tailored answers for common questions like, tell me about yourself, and why do you want this job? Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, knowing the different types of interviews you might face is like having a roadmap, right? It helps you prepare strategically. You won't just get one kind of interview.
That's a really critical insight, especially for MIS and IT roles. You're likely to encounter a mix: behavioral, technical, video interviews, maybe even case studies. Let's break those down a bit because each one needs a slightly different approach.
Definitely. First up, behavioral interviews. These are all about your past actions predicting future behavior. Questions often start with, tell me about a time when, or give an example of. Employers use these to gauge those crucial soft skills, teamwork, problem solving, handling pressure. And they're effective. 86% of employers find them useful. The key to success here is the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. It's a fantastic way to structure your answers clearly. Be specific always and focus on positive outcomes or what you learned from the experience.
That STAR method really does give you a solid framework for telling a compelling story. Okay, what about the core of hiring the technical interview? That's often the most intimidating one.
It can feel that way, yeah. Technical interviews assess your job's specific knowledge. Could be coding, databases like MySQL, networking concepts, cybersecurity principles. You might face live coding tests, quizzes, or detailed reviews of projects you've listed. Employers use these to verify your skills, sure, but also to see your thought process. It's not always just about the right answer immediately to succeed. Review the fundamentals for that role. Practice coding problems aloud, explaining your thinking as you go. Study the company's tech, step the languages, frameworks, tools they use. And if it makes sense, be ready to demo or show examples from your portfolio or GitHub.
Honesty is crucial here too. It's okay to say, I don't know, but here's how I'd figure it out. Bluffing usually backfires.
Right. And since we're also used to remote work now, video and virtual interviews are a huge part of the landscape. What are the keys there? Yeah, these are done remotely, usually Zoom or Teams. Can be live, real-time interaction, or sometimes one way where you record answers asynchronously. They're super popular for efficiency. 61% of recruiters plan to keep using video, and 70% of hiring managers find them effective. For live interviews, test your tech beforehand. Choose a quiet, well-lit space. Make sure your background is professional, not cluttered. And remember, eye contact means looking at the camera, not necessarily the screen image of the interviewer. Dress professionally head to toe just in case. Minimize any potential distractions, pets, notifications, roommates. For one-way recorded interviews, stick to the time limits. Try to show energy and enthusiasm and be authentic. Don't try to game any AI reviewing it. That usually doesn't work well.
Good tips. And finally, the sometimes tricky case study or scenario interviews. These can feel like a pop quiz about the job itself.
They can, yeah. They basically give you a hypothetical problem to solve. It assesses your analytical skills, your strategic thinking. In tech, it might be a system design challenge, or maybe an analytical problem using sample data. The goal is to simulate how you'd think on the job, and also see your approach, maybe even interpersonal skills if it's a group case. To succeed, listen really carefully. Ask clarifying questions. First, make sure you understand the core issue. Then, break down the problem systematically. Think aloud. Let the interviewer follow your logic. Use relevant frameworks if applicable, like a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, or maybe the OSI model for networking problems. Be creative. If there are numbers involved, walk through your logic, and always summarize your recommendation or conclusion at the end.
Okay, so what this really boils down to for you, the listener, is that adapting your strategy is absolutely key. You're not just prepping for an interview, you're prepping for any interview scenario they throw at you.
And this raises a really important question, doesn't it? Beyond all the technical chops and knowing the interview formats, what truly sets a candidate apart? What's that kind of secret sauce?
It often comes down to communication. Actually, communication consistently ranks as the #1 soft skill companies are looking for. Your interview is the prime time to show this off, both verbally and non-verbally. Let's start with verbal. Clarity and conciseness are just paramount. Aim for focused answers, maybe 1-2 minutes, unless the interviewer clearly wants more depth. Pay attention to their cues. If they look restless, probably time to wrap it up.
Exactly. And your tone, your enthusiasm, they matter hugely. Convey genuine interest, confidence. Even if you're nervous, try to sound positive, upbeat. A simple smile can actually add warmth to your voice, believe it or not. And know your audience. Using tech jargon is fine with technical folks, but if you're talking to HR or a non-technical manager, explain complex ideas simply. Instead of saying, I resolved a STRUD conflict in the REST API, maybe say, I fixed an issue where data wasn't saving correctly by adjusting how our web services communicated. See the difference? Active listening is huge, too. It's a dialogue, right? Paraphrase questions sometimes to confirm you understand. Refer back to things the interviewer said earlier. You mentioned agile methodology. It shows you're engaged.
Absolutely. But beyond the words we use, our bodies are telling a story too, aren't they? Nonverbal communication is such a huge, often underestimated piece of the puzzle.
It absolutely is. Eye contact. Number one for a reason. 67% of managers cite failing to make eye contact as a top body language mistake. It shows confidence, engagement. If it's a panel, shift your gaze naturally between them. Your posture matters. Sit upright, maybe lean in slightly. Shows you're attentive, interested. Avoid defensive postures like tightly crossed arms. And a natural smile, especially at the start and occasionally throughout, shows friendliness. 39% of managers cite not smiling as a mistake.
Okay, and what about those little nervous habits we all sometimes fall into? The fidgeting.
Right. Gestures should be natural, but avoid going overboard. 13% of employers find excessive gestures distracting. And try hard to minimize nervous fidgeting, tapping feet, twirling hair, clicking pens. We all do it sometimes, but try to be aware. For in-person interviews, the handshake still matters. Aim for firm, but not, bone-crushing. A weak handshake. 22% of managers cite that as leaving a poor first impression. Subtly mirroring the interviewer's style, their pace, formality can sometimes help build rapport too. And finally, confidence is great, but avoid arrogance like the plague. It's a top interview killer cited by 59% of employers. Market yourself, sure, but with humility. Listen more than you talk. Never interrupt.
Yeah, when your verbal and nonverbal cues align, you just come across as genuine, competent. That's exactly the impression you want to leave. This is really a critical piece for your professional development journey in tech.
Okay, so you've communicated effectively, your body language is on point. But how do you know if your answers themselves are truly hitting the mark? From the interviewer side, what makes an answer strong versus, well, just okay? That's a great question. Interviewers are definitely looking for specific signals. Let's take a classic one. Tell me about a weakness. A weak response might be something like, I guess I'm not great at public speaking. I really hate presenting in meetings. It's just negative, offers no solution. A strong response, though, it shows self-awareness and action. Like, one area I'm actively working on is my public speaking confidence. I realized this early in college and proactively joined Toastmasters to practice. It's still a challenge sometimes, but I've seen real improvement. I even volunteered to present our capstone project to the department. See? Self-awareness, action, improvement.
That's a fantastic contrast. Really turns a potential negative into a positive story about growth. What about a teamwork question? Like,
Yeah.
tell me about a time you worked effectively as part of a team.
Okay, a weak answer here might be really vague. Yeah, I work in teams on class projects all the time. I did my part, everyone else did theirs, it was fine. Doesn't tell the interviewer much, does it? A strong response uses that STAR method implicitly, gives details. In my systems analysis class, our team of 4 hit a snag. We had conflicting ideas on the database design for our main project. As the team coordinator, I set up an extra meeting just to talk it through. We ended up combining the best parts of everyone's ideas. I then used a Trello board to track tasks clearly. We delivered a complex system, got an A, and I personally learned a ton about mediating disagreements and really leveraging different viewpoints. Specifics, leadership, conflict resolution, positive outcome learning. That's strong.
Right. So the key things interviewers are listening for in a strong answer are relevance. Did you actually answer the question?
Mm-hmm.
Specificity, concrete details, maybe numbers, outcomes, a clear structure, like STAR, positivity, even when talking about challenges and on growth, moderation, confident but humble, and definitely tailoring the answer to that specific job and company.
Precisely. Even for a technical question like, how comfortable are you with SQL? A weak answer. I've used SQL some, I get databases. Too vague. A strong answer gives context. I'd say I'm intermediate with SQL. In my web apps course, I designed a MySQL database, which is a pretty common type for a project tracking app. I created the schema, wrote some fairly complex queries for reporting overdue tasks. I even optimized a few queries by adding indexes, basically making it run faster. While most of my experience is academic, I practice on platforms like LeetCode, and I'm confident I can quickly get up to speed with your specific SQL environment. Practical examples, initiative, confidence to adapt. Much better.
That level of detail and clear articulation, it's absolutely crucial. For those in BCIS 4385, this is exactly what we mean by professional development. It's not just having the skills, you have to articulate them effectively, confidently. Practice and self-evaluation are just so key here.
Absolutely. And to bring all these pieces together to truly master your readiness, you really need a structured interview preparation plan. Think of it like your personal roadmap to success. It guides you through each step.
Okay, let's outline this step-by-step approach for you, our listener. Where does it begin?
It starts with self-assessment and goal setting. Really know your top technical skills, your key soft skills. Identify maybe 2, 3 major accomplishments you can talk about, and be honest about areas for improvement. Richard Bowles calls this self-inventory. It's fundamental. And clarify your career goal: business analyst, software dev, IT project manager. That clarity shapes everything
Right.
else.
Step 2.
Research the opportunity. Deep dive. Review that job description line by line. Research the company mission, products, culture, recent news. If you know who's interviewing you, a quick LinkedIn check on them can be insightful too. This helps you figure out the employer's needs so you can address them.
Makes sense.
Then, update and customize your documents. Resume, cover letter, absolutely your online presence, LinkedIn, GitHub, portfolio. They need to be polished, consistent, and tailored to this specific role. Interviewers often pull questions right from these, so they have to be sharp.
Okay, got it. Step 4 seems like the big one.
It is. Practice common questions. This is content prep. Outline answers for behavioral questions using star bullet points. For technical questions, practice explaining concepts clearly, maybe even coding without an IDE if relevant. Nail your concise answers for why this company role, and tell me about yourself. Always, always have 3 to 5 thoughtful questions ready to ask them. Avoid salary talk in the first round, though. And the crucial part, practice aloud. Record yourself, do mock interviews, get feedback.
That practice aloud part is so important. Okay, step 5, getting closer to the day.
Logistics and final preparations. Plan your professional outfit. For in-person, map your route. Plan to arrive 10-15 minutes early. For virtual, test your tech rigorously: camera, mic, internet. Tidy your background. Prepare any portfolio items you might share. Confirm the appointment details. And, maybe most importantly, get a good night's sleep.
Good advice. Step 6, the interview itself.
Right. Perform and adapt during the interview. Be present, be engaged. Listen carefully. Draw on your prepared points naturally. Don't sound robotic.
Yeah.
Have maybe 2-3 key messages about yourself you want them to remember, and find ways to weave those in. Be adaptable.
And finally, it's not over when you walk out the door, is it?
Definitely not.
So-
Step 7. Post-interview follow-up. Send a thank you note within 24 hours. Email is fine. Keep it brief. Maybe mention something specific you discussed and reiterate your interest. And then, for your benefit, reflect. Jot down what went well, what questions tripped you up. Use that to refine your prep for the next interview. It's a learning process.
And this whole plan, it's adaptable, right? Depending on the specific tech role.
Absolutely. The core steps are the same, but the content changes. A systems analyst focuses more on translating business needs. A software dev preps more coding examples. An IT project manager emphasizes leadership, agile methods, communication. A data analyst, explaining analyses, tool proficiency. You customize the practice points based on the target role.
So what does this all mean for you? This personalized checklist, it's not just about being ready. It's about reducing that pre-interview stress, boosting your confidence because you know you've covered your bases. We've really taken a deep dive today, haven't we? Mastering the tech job interview, from proactive hunting and polishing your online self to handling different interview styles, nailing communication, and crafting that winning prep plan.
Yeah, and for those of you specifically in BCIS 4385, these strategies, they're absolutely fundamental to your professional development. Remember, every tip, every practice session you do, it builds a stronger, more confident you, ready to grab those amazing opportunities in the tech sector.
Totally agree. If you found this deep dive valuable, please maybe consider giving us a follow or share it with someone else who's navigating their career journey. Your support really helps us keep unpacking these crucial topics for you. So as you think about your next career step, here's a final thought. What's one specific action you'll take this week? Maybe to proactively seek out an opportunity, or just to refine one aspect of your interview skills. Remember, your career is a journey, and every step you take today builds the future you imagine. Keep learning, keep growing, and go make it happen.